Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today this morning for our workshop, Beyond Words, Executive Communication Across Cultures. So, if you don't know me, I'm Fernanda Cataldi, General Manager of the Chamber. And just to give you a brief introduction about today's session, it is designed to help professionals and leaders to improve their communication skills using simple and practical insights from neuroscience and body-based practices. So now, without further ado, it is my great pleasure to invite Debora Balardini, Executive Director at Group.PR, to begin the workshop.
I'm going to ask you a question before we start. When I stopped and just stood there looking at you, what did you pick up? Your nervous system was just collecting data. And that's exactly what we're going to work on today. It's also not intuition, right? Some people confuse with intuition. It was just collecting data. Before your analytical mind made some kind of formula, your body already had an impression about my body right away, without you even thinking about it. So, we are not going to be talking about words too much today, right? I'm not here for us to learn scripts and how to put your voice here and your body there and all that. But basically no words, but what's before the words, what's beneath the words, and what's after the words. So now my name is Debora Balardini, and I'm an artist, an integrative therapist, and the executive director of Group.PR, the only Brazilian theater company in New York. And this workshop is called Beyond Words, Executive Communication Across Cultures. Beyond words. Because that's exactly where communication lives. It's not so much about the words you say, but how you say it, right? We heard that before. But we're going to go a little bit deeper on that. So, I'm going to be looking at my notes, just so you know, because I tend to talk a lot. We were just discussing that. And I'm going to be glancing, I'm going to be making sure I'm on track, because there's a lot to share with you guys. I noticed something very consistent, across all the environments, so teaching artists, leaders, all the environments out there that I've been put into. When people feel unsafe, their bodies just change, right? The obvious needs to be said as well. So I might be saying something obvious, but let's just really face it. So when people feel unsafe, they change. Their voices change, their pitch, their posture, everything. So in the workplace specifically, right, more like a corporate place, this is like translated as like fear of speaking, defensive communication, silence, conflict, all that. But, and also labeled as like, your lack of confidence. You don't know how to communicate. You need to take more workshops with Debora Balardini. Right? And sometimes this is not that, It's your nervous system response to pressure. And we forget about that. As an actress, right, we practice this, right, with my beautiful business partner is here today, when we are practicing, when we are learning this for many years of how to read the room, how to feel the audience, how you're sitting, what are you giving me, how am I receiving that? All that, it's practice. So today I'm not here to fix anyone. or like learn a script and all that. But we are going to understand how communication lives in your body. That's the most important, how communication lives in your body. So the vocal and the how to land a word and how to say a sentence, that's another workshop, that's another part. But we're going to go from the beginning, really from the beginning. Now I have another question for you. Where does intelligence live? Yeah, but you see, it's natural that we say it's in our mind, right? We have like 500 years of like, I think, therefore I am. So corporate systems, educational systems, you are what you think. That's how intelligent you are. It's natural. It brought you here today, right? So the thing is, it lives in your whole body. So it's not that it's wrong. Yes, it's here. However, it's incomplete. That's the big problem. It's incomplete. We forget we have a body. So your intelligence is everywhere. Your feet, your legs, your soul, right? The back of your neck, your shoulders, everywhere. That's where intelligence is also. So we need to make those things communicate. One very interesting fact, and Andressa, please cut me if I'm going too far. She's keeping my time, because I can talk a lot. So we have a little part of our brains called insula, right? It's right in the middle of our brains. And it's supposed to communicate with your frontal lobe. However, we are on the phone, we are fast-paced, we don't pay attention to our bodies. We don't pay attention that the heart is beating, that I'm sweating right now because I'm nervous talking to you guys. Am I going to be able to deliver what I want to deliver? Right? We don't pay attention to those things. We don't acknowledge them. We don't talk about them. And that little part of your brain, insula, starts going like, hey, I'm here. Oh, I need to communicate. Your body's going crazy. And we're like, no. I need to think about the next meeting. I have this presentation to do. I have to, you just here. And therefore we cancel our beautiful, cute little insula in the middle of our brains. We say, no, you are not allowed here right now. In neuroscience, this is called interoception. When you go inside. And in most work settings, right, especially corporate, we're not allowed to do that kind of stuff, Who's that crazy person sitting down and just with the eyes closed trying to feel, we're losing connection. We're losing connection. So you don't have to do it in front of people. You can take 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and just go inside and see where that conflict lives with you. Right? You have a meeting to go to, and then suddenly, oh my God, I'm going to have to talk to that person that I talked before. How do I do it? Open up. So, how many of you have experienced knowing exactly what you wanted to say? You know exactly what you want to say, but then your thoughts didn't go fast enough, and you miss that chance.
It's the opposite, that the thought goes too fast.
That could happen too, right? And then you cannot express yourself because, oh my God, now I lost it.
Or you know what you have to say, but you're afraid of how you're going to say it.
Exactly. So, also like when you walk into a meeting, right, and the meeting is over, like you finish the meeting and then you get to the elevator and you go, I had the right answer, man. 3 seconds later, you miss that chance, right? Does that happen too? And like, I had a perfect answer. I was going to nail that job, or I was going to nail the meeting. I was going to, convince my boss that I'm going to do that project, but they don't. Right? And then the classic, of course. You get into a conflict situation and then suddenly, you either freeze or you want to, you want to fly, like the whole flight, freeze, or fight situation. I'm sure everybody has been in there, right? What we don't talk about is the third possibility. Who wants to guess? What's the fourth possibility, right? Because we had like freeze, flight, fight.
Get defensive?
No, that you're getting defensive. You get into the person's face and go, what is the fourth possibility?
The opposite of fighting?
What is the opposite of fighting?
Like peace and acceptance? I don't know. Just go with the flow.
Peace of acceptance, go with the
Instead
flow.
of resisting.
Connection?
Instead of resisting, we're getting there. Connection. Take it in. Ooh, I love it. Yes. A simple word. Presence. That's the fourth possibility. Just presence. Right? I'm not frozen. I'm not, what is that? Frozen. I'm not flying. I'm not fighting. All right? Because that whole situation of flying and freezing and all that is just your nervous system doing what it was born to do, what was created to do, or whatever you want to say, to protect you. Of course it's going to protect you. Right? You're in a situation, your whole body's going to go like, okay, I'm here for you. But then what do you do with that? If you're not aware of what's going on inside, you're going to do one of the three things. That is, what we just did. It is exactly what navigating a conflict is. It's about this. The situation hasn't changed. The people around you are the same. You still have the problem, but the way you approach it is a different story, right? So I think I mentioned this before. I'm not remembering now, but this is called centering, right? A body that is centered can navigate anything. And notice that I'm not saying like, oh, I'm going to be defensive. Let me take a step back. In order to live in the world, we do have to put masks. We do. It's, we can talk about psychology later, but we have to put masks, right? I'm not the same person with my son that I am with you here, right? I'm not the same person when I go visit Andressa and work on a project. It's another person. It's the same essence, but it's a different mask. It's a different social mask, and that's absolutely fine. What we can't let happen is now I'm going to put that same mask and I'm going to talk to you and this is how it's going to be, and I am not flexible enough to receive what you have to give me. It's a constant adjustment, right? You observe, you see what's going on, you test it, and then you have to adjust. Especially in the corporate world, right? You have to put a very big mask, I know, sometimes. Sometimes you have to swallow that conflict, the personal conflict, and you have to handle things, right? But how do you handle with presence?
What do you do when you're not feeling flexible?
When you're not feeling flexible, I love it because I can see you. I forgot to say I teach at the medical Hackensack Meridian Medical School, and one of the things that we talk about a lot when we have encounters, I work as an actress and we have to have feedback, like live feedback, and usually they come in, they are young too, right? They are not like, some of them are very like 18, 19. Sometimes when they come in with this, I'm gonna do everything perfect. And do you have a headache? Do you have a da-da-da? And what medicine are you taking? And I can see that underneath they are like so nervous and they're not there. Exactly what you just said. So when I give them feedback, right? How did it go? Open-ended questions, da-da-da. We talk about a bunch of things. But one of the things that I tell them is, you need to communicate how you feel. Because then I know where you're coming from. So if I'm gonna lie to you if I say to you that I was not nervous starting the workshop or being here with you. It's a mix of excitement and nervousness. Is she gonna understand what I'm saying? Is she gonna understand? Is he here with me? It's a bunch of things at the same time. But if I don't communicate that, you don't know. You don't have to come and, oh my God, I'm feeling a headache and I can't handle it. It's not, we leave that to the theater folks. But you can say, hey guys, I'm in this state right now. Just bear with me a little bit, right? I'll get into it. And now you're giving people a chance to help you also cope, instead of just, okay, I'm fine, everything's fine. You not only you make your body, you're intoxicating your body with bad stuff, those 15 seconds of craziness, but you're also not giving people a chance to actually help you and be there with you. It's actually very selfish and arrogant. We talk about exteroception, right? What's happening outside. We talk about interoception, what's happening within. We talk about centering. How do I get here? How do I soften my knees? And be able to have a conversation. And about the interoception, right? It's probably something very obvious, but it's not just that you are just going inside, but it's also like the quality of sleep. Am I sleeping, well? Am I rested? A lot of people come to me, some of my clients come to me and like, oh, I'm so depressive, and I have anxiety. Okay, first thing I ask, are you sleeping? Are you drinking water? Because your brain is going to shrink and you're going to become dumb if you don't drink the water. That's self-abandonment. Right? When I abandon myself, I don't drink water. Then my brain shrinks, I become dumb, and the world is resolved. It doesn't work like that. So there's all that that is also part of your interoception. Drinking water. Am I eating? Do I have any contact with nature? Did I take a walk today? Did I look at a tree? We need to go back to those things. We need to have balance. We are creatures of nature. And two things that are movement. Move your body. It's not just going to the gym. Yes, you're going to go to the gym, that's great, fantastic. Dance. Move your hips. Right? A person that moves their hips is more flexible in the mind. That's why, in caso de dor, dance. In case of pain, dance. Because you're not doing just the dance because you want to be silly or anything like that. It's connected to your nervous system. And the ultimate is singing. Put the volume up and sing it. Why? just because I want to be silly and I love that song or whatever. No. You want like a very analytical explanation? It's connected to your vagus nerve. When you sing, you actually are moving, are regulating your vagus nerve. That's why you sing. Of course, we sing for other reasons, because it feels good. But that is the point as well. It's body. It's the body. Connection, 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 all the time. Thank you very much, Fernando, for the chambers, for having me. And thank you for allowing me to share the little that I know. And thank you for actually being present with me today. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.